Once again, as you inhale, we're going to step the left foot forward this time. So we did the right, now we're going to do the left. I'm going to step my same foot forward, as you will see, because I want to still face you guys and I want to show you what it looks like. And come to our wide-legged forward fold now. Same as before. Maybe you want to change the hand positions this time. The hands don't have to stay in front of the face, or they don't have to stay behind. You can always grab onto the outsides of the feet. You can use the two peace fingers to grab onto the big toes and forward fold there. You can even grab onto the backs of the heels if that's in your practice as well and you're able to get those shoulders behind. It's your option to change it up if you still want to just stay the same, then go ahead and do so. Do what is in your practice. Just get 2 more breaths there. Breathing in nice and deep. Maybe you want to get a little bit bigger in the stretch, maybe going down a little bit more, but be sure to press the chest forward first and then come all the way down. If you're in the yogi toe lock, as we like to call it, the elbows are nice and away from the ears. As you come back to center, we're going to walk towards the front of the mat again, this time the left hand side. So the left foot pivots forward, the right foot comes in about halfway. Want to exhale and fold for your pyramid. Still squaring the shoulders, still making sure the toes are pointed in the same direction. Be aware of the 2 sides. Allow the body to be heavy in here, but still press yourself up and away, lifting yourself up. And then as per usual, you can always bind the hands behind or you can just leave them out on the ground. We're going to come into pelican on this side. So as before, you want to plant the hands first, then you want to lift the back leg. You want to bend through that knee, bring the knees together. And then see how you feel. Maybe on this side you need to hold on to the ground, or maybe on this side you want to hold on to the leg. Whatever you do, do with purpose. Squeezing the 2 knees together, ensuring that our foundation is nice and strong here. If you come out, it's okay. You can just come right back in. In 3, 2, and 1. Step on all the way back. You want to take a down dog, you want to take a vinyasa, do whatever is in your practice if you want to keep the body moving. We're going to move down to seated in just a second. So if you want to take an extra vinyasa here, maybe you want to do an extra chaturanga, maybe you want to spend a little bit more time in down dog, or you can take a little child's pose. We're almost there. I'm going to bring the feet forward, and then I'm going to come all the way up, adjusting myself, and then like I said, we're going to come all the way down to seated. So whenever you're ready, you can either do a vinyasa to get to seated, or you can just do a nice little down dog, or you can just take a seat. It's up to you. My personal favorite is to do a vinyasa. Meet you back at seated. Come all the way down to the ground. You want to take a nice seat in what's called Dandasana. So just making sure that the feet are nice and together, the thighs pressed together as well. The spine is nice and long and straight. We're going to take what's called a forward fold first. So as you inhale, you want to stretch the chest all the way forward and then all the way down. The feet can be pointed or flexed, and it just depends on your practice. And then when you're ready, on the exhale, come all the way down, reaching for the outsides of the feet. If you have it in you and you want to, you can do yogi toe lock here with the 2 peace fingers going around the big toes. And even in this pose, if you have a little bit of trouble breathing, you can always lift the chin. We still want to make sure that you bend through the knees just enough so that the knees and the are touching the chest and the thighs are touching the stomach. Over time, the knees will strengthen and they will lengthen, and then they will become completely straight. But that takes time. Let's say 2 more breaths here. As you inhale, you're going to come all the way up. We're going to move into Marichyasana A. So I'm going to turn around and just show you guys what that's going to look like. We're going to work on the right side first. My right knee is going to come all the way up towards my chest. I'm going to measure out just about a fist distance in between my foot and my thigh. My left leg is still going to be really engaged here, so it's going to be either pointed or it's going to be flexed. I never want it to be flippy floppy. When I'm ready, I'm going to move my right shoulder onto the inside of the right leg, and then I'm going to forward fold here. If the knee comes out, that's perfectly fine. You are human. Now, if you have the bind in your practice, you can always wrap the right arm behind, and then the left arm wraps around to reach it. Now, if you do have the bind and the hands don't meet right away, don't worry. Over time, the hands will begin to touch. But we have to remember to keep putting everything together in order for us to do the binds. Once again, find your forward fold and then take a few breaths here, making sure the shoulders are parallel to the ground as you fold. One more breath there. As you inhale, you want to release and then gently come all the way back up. We're going to move into a nice little twist here. So I'm going to bring the foot in. I'm going to close the space between that. My right hand is going to come behind. My left hand is going to grasp onto the knee. That's option number 1. Then I'm going to take a little spinal twist here. Option number 2 is to bring the entire elbow over the knee in a nice little Dharma fashion with the first finger and the thumb curled in a circular fashion, as you see me doing there. And of course, my spine is still straight. My left leg is still really engaged. I want to engage my right leg as well. I want to squeeze it in towards the body. And then I want to take a nice upper and middle back twist. As I inhale, I want to come back to center. And then I'm going to move into something called Janushasana. So the knee is going to come all the way down. Now here's where you may need a prop. You may need a towel, you may need a rolled up blanket, just something to make sure that the knee is still really comfortable. You're still going to stretch and work with the hip here, but you want to make sure that the knee is closed. From there, I'm going to bend through my left leg just a little bit to ensure the safety of my joints. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to forward fold, once again grasping onto the foot if I have it, or I can just bring the chest forward and all the way down. I'm going to take a few breaths here. Also, if you need something beneath that bent knee that you're folding over, you can always roll up a blanket, you can roll up a towel. A beach towel works really well if you're staying at home. As I inhale, I want to gently come on all the way back up. I'm going to go ahead and release that leg. I'm either going to shake out my legs as I'm doing there, or maybe I want to curl the knees up in towards the chest and I want to windshield wiper the leg. We're going to move on to the other side. So the left knee comes all the way up. I'm going to measure out that fist distance, my Marichyasana A on this side. When I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead, pull my shoulder inwards. I'm going to forward fold, or if I have it, I'm going to take that bind on this side. Remembering that not every side is going to be the same. Maybe you have enough practice in both sides to get the bind in both, but it comes over time. Two more breaths here, nice and easy. As you exhale, you want to come all the way out nice and gentle. I want to take that twist on this side, so once again closing in the space between the foot and the leg. Maybe this time you want to bring the elbow all the way over the knee. Maybe this time you want to just hold on to the knee. But you see what's in your practice, and then go ahead whenever you're ready. You want to have a nice little spinal twist there. Elongating through the spine, lifting through the chest. The upper and middle back is the one that's working. Closing in the knees, making sure that you're safe. We'll hold for 2. As you inhale, you want to come all the way back to center. We're going to move into our Janusirsasana now. So moving the knee all the way out, once again propping it up as necessary, making sure that you are protecting your joints in every way possible while still gaining the full stretch. You're ready, you're going to forward fold there. Take a few deep breaths. You can lift the chin if you're having trouble breathing. One more here. As you inhale, you want to come all the way back up. Once again, we're going to take out that leg and we're going to do a little Baddha Konasana, which is a typical butterfly pose. And we usually do this in a yin practice. It's very rare that we do it in a vinyasa practice, but we are working with the hips today. So you may want to extend the feet out just a little bit into a Tadasana or star shape if your hips are a little bit tighter. You can make a diamond shape with the legs, as you can see there. Or if you still want to do the butterfly position, you can always close in the feet just a little bit more. But once again, you want to make sure that you're feeling a nice little stretch inside of the hips and inside the hamstrings. Not too much that it's painful, but just enough so that you're slightly uncomfortable and feeling that nice stretch. If you have it, you can always bring the head to the feet. You can wrap the fingers around the toes. And just go ahead and breathe for a few. As you inhale, you want to come all the way up, nice and gentle and soft. You want to take the hands and use it to bend the knees forward into each other. Maybe you want a windshield wiper this time instead of shaking out the legs. That's your choice. Moving back and forth, the windshield wipering feels really nice after some nice hip extenders. I'm going to be working in a little bit of the back bends first. We're just going to do one. So we're going to get all the way down onto the belly. I did a little bit of a down dog first because I needed the hamstring stretch. We're going to make sure the feet are nice and together. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. We want to make sure that the elbows are pressing up against the sides of the body. You really want to make sure that we're squeezing the thighs and squeezing everything together in and up, just like a cobra with its tail. On the inhale, you want to lift the upper back and use it to press yourself away from the ground. The hands are just there for show and really just for grip. The best way to do a cobra is to actually lift the hands off the ground and ensure that the back body is working. This is another pose you can modify a lot. Maybe you want to put a little towel underneath you, a little blanket, just to help your body. Hold for a couple more there. As you exhale, you come all the way back down. Moving to the last and final pose of the day, you want to curl in through the toes. You want to lift the hips and come all the way back because a nice back bend means a nice forward bend. The best forward bend is always going to be a child's pose, bringing the knees together and lowering down the head towards the ground. That's it for Yoga 101 Basics. I thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed the class. You can go ahead and stay in this pose as long as you need it. Whatever your body needs, do a couple of small movements before you get out here. And then, of course, remember that this was your practice. This was your time to really focus on your progress or your healing.